Good morning, guys. This is the first video that I am doing on the Crafty Nomad Writes channel. So basically what's happening is I am trying to write a book in 2026. And it's a book that I started. If you look at, some of the older videos, you'll see that I started this in 2020. During the pandemic, or right before we knew we were in a pandemic, is when I started, the beginning of the year of 2020. And by March, we were in a full-blown, we realized, we were probably already in it, but we realized, the world realized that we were all dealing with this global pandemic. And so, I actually had started writing in January, and then I stopped. Like, I think everything with the pandemic, it just, messed me up mentally. Even though when I look back on it, I think that was probably a really good time to be writing, because we had so much time due to not going to work every day. But at any rate, I actually stopped writing this, and I have since in 2026 restarted writing it, and I decided that I need a little bit more time writing. I need a little more time with these characters. I've only been going once a week, and it's taken me forever to write it. I will never finish this book if I don't do a little bit more writing, and I really, really, really want to finish it, whether it gets published or not. That's something that we will see down the line. But for now, I just want to write it. I want to finish the story, and I'm trying not to judge the story as I write it. I feel like it's like kind of boring, but so I am judging it. But I'm telling myself just to keep writing because the point is to finish, and then if we want to turn it into something great, we can always go back and edit it. Anyway, so it is the 27th of April, and this is my first Monday writing session. I'm going to write for probably just 10 minutes. That's what I was doing back in 2020. Whenever I could get a few minutes every morning, that's when I was writing, and I managed in that time to get a lot of words on the page. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to try to add 2 sessions plus our Saturday, but the 2 sessions in a week don't have to be long. So I just feel like if I spend more time with these characters, the story will roll a little bit better. So here we go. Good morning, guys. It's early. It is 6:39 a.m. and I'm going to try and get in a short little writing session. Our main one, again, is on the weekends, but I'm trying to add a couple of more. Yesterday, I didn't get one in, so I've only had one 8-minute session this week, and now I'm going to try for about 15 minutes before I have to get moving and getting us out of here. So let's go. Okay, so that 12-minute session. I only did 12 minutes, but I'm going to do approximately maybe 10 more, maybe. I do want to do a little bit of crocheting if I can before I leave for work, and so I still got a little bit of time. It's not 7 a.m. yet. I don't leave until about 7:45, so I have time to do a little bit of both. Plus, I still got to pack my lunch, do my makeup, and get out of here. Okay, bye. So here's my journal, and every month what I do is I make a cover page for each month. This is me getting set up for May journaling, and I use these positive quote stencils, and they're like little motivational quotes, and just giving myself some positive affirmations every month is really good. I really enjoy this process. I will do a flip through so that you can see March and April. But yeah, I really enjoy this process. And here are some close-ups. And I'm ready to journal for the month of May. I don't journal every day. I use a Hobonichi Techo that I got, Techo that I got for Christmas, and it's undated, so that just brought so much freedom. I may journal 7 times in a month at the most, which is totally cool. For me, it's a great process for me. Anyway, just wanted to share a little bit of that, and stay tuned for the flip through in another video. Hi y'all, I am driving home, and it's Friday. It's end of the work week, and we get the weekend to ourselves, sort of. Anyway, I just headed out from work, and I wanted to pop in and talk a little bit about the writing this week. I had added in 2 additional writing sessions, which ended up being something like an additional 20 minutes of writing, and I'm almost like 8 words from 30,000 words, which is progress, because when I started at the beginning of the year, or I started at the end of December, I think the last Saturday before the new year, Steve and I went out writing for the first time, and we've been going every Saturday since, except for there's been days here and there where either we had other things we had planned to do, or I was out of town, or wasn't feeling good. But overall, we've kept up the habit. Okay, there's a train coming, so we got a minute. So we've kept up the habit, and we will go out again tomorrow. But I realized, and I think I may have already said this, but I did realize that I need more time with the characters, and I just need more time writing. And so I was at 20,000 words when I started back at the end of December. So up to now, I have added an additional 10,000 words. And to me, I should have added more. I could have added more. And that's one of the reasons why I decided that I needed to add in some more sessions, because the truth be told, when I was doing the book back in back in 2020, I think I was getting up practically every morning and putting in an extra 10 to 15 minutes. There were days when I actually did write on some of my breaks at work, and so I think that's how I got all those words in. So the bottom line is, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to progress very well, so if I don't add in more time. Plus, again, I feel like it's so much harder for me to write this because, see if I can, because I'm just not spending enough time with the characters for them to just, sort of flow onto the page, from my mind to my fingers onto the page. And so I really think that even just the extra 20 something minutes of writing really is going to help my flow for tomorrow when I open up the computer and start writing again. Anyway, I watched a video this week where this lady who's a professional writer, she first wrote academically. She was an academic writer. I don't know if she was writing textbooks or just academic papers, but she had experience writing and also editing. So she's doing this series. She's now is about to publish her 10th self-published novel, and so she's giving advice. And one of the things she talked about was what's it called? It's not edit. See, I talked about it already, and I'm re-recording, and now I can't think of what she called this type of editing that you end up doing. But anyway, she used a lot of metaphors to describe the process of writing. And the first part of it, she said it's like, filling a sandbox with sand. And that is when you are just writing. You are getting the words on the page, and you are absolutely not editing for anything. It's hard for me sometimes if I made a mistake in spelling not to go back and check the spelling and change it. However, that's really, really, really trying to get the words on the page. And you just have to accept the fact that whatever you get on that page, when you finish getting it all down, it's not going to be ready for consumption. It's going to have to go through another process, or 2 or 3 or 4. And the next process after that, she compared it to taking the sand and making a sand castle. And she had a name for that. I'm gonna put it across the screen because right now I can't remember. And this is where you begin to shape the story. You get the story to the point where, you know, it's finally in a form that is something that people can read and enjoy. There is going to be more editing, and that process that she's talking about there is something that the writer does. Once you get beyond that, then it's ready for you to either give it to an actual editor and pay them, or I guess continue trying to edit it yourself. I'm gonna see what she says about it, but I think a lot of people end up paying editors, and we'll see what I end up doing. But the second part, where it's just finally being shaped into a story, I think that is when you give it to what they call your beta readers. And these are the people who are waiting for your book, who are willing and ready to actually read your book and give you feedback. It's sort of like, I'm a crocheter, and if any of my crochet people are watching this, I have another channel, a Crafty Channel, which will be linked down below for anybody who is interested. But it's like when people pattern test. So when people write crochet patterns or knitting patterns, they generally have a group of people, or they gather a group of people to test the pattern for them. And that means that the person will take that pattern and make the item from the pattern that the designer has given them. And if there are mistakes, they give feedback. They do all of that. So beta readers are pretty much the same thing. They're going to read your book, and they are going to provide feedback. So these are going to be people that you really trust to do this for you. And you know, I'm not at a point of having beta readers yet, but they are the people who will give you that feedback. When you got the sandcastle built, you give it to them, and then they send you back notes, and you take their notes, and then you go back and you tweak the sandcastle. And so, and then after that, when you've done all the tweaks and you get to the point where she says, this lady was saying that you get to a point where you kind of just instinctively know that the book is done. And at that point, you're doing line edits, where that's when you're doing the grammar, that's when you're doing the punctuation marks, and that's when you are checking spelling, and you're doing all of those things. Anyway, I'm still learning, but that's what I got from her one video. So I'm excited to learn more and more about that process. But it helped me to be like, okay, you're just filling the sandbox with sand right now. You're just throwing sand in the sandbox, so just write. And so I realized that there's an element of the story that I hadn't really talked about in quite a few words. Quite a few pages have gone by, and I haven't talked about this specific thing that is an integral part of the story. So that's what I did this week during my writing sessions this week. I let this week be about that and putting more of those elements in there. Previously, I had been trying to write the story in the order that I thought it would be read, and I'm not deviating a lot from that, but I am more comfortable with the idea of just getting the words on the page. And so my husband, he's a writer, and he's self-published at this point, I think about 3 books. And I realized that he told me a long time ago that he doesn't write in order. He writes the stories out of order, and then in the editing process you get it all, you know, cohesive. And I didn't get that until I watched the lady's video, and I'm like, oh, so things that I'm writing right now might not even land in the place where they are right now on the page or in the book pages, and that's gonna be okay. So I learned a lot from that, and I am just gonna end out this video tomorrow after I do my last writing session for the week. And yeah, I am making these videos really for myself. So this is a channel that I haven't been active on, but I know that making videos will help me to stay productive as well. So that's why I decided to sort of get back to it. And yeah, so anyway, if anybody watches this and you are interested in coming along with me on this journey of getting this book done, I don't know if you know, but a finished novel is generally somewhere around 70,000 words. So I am getting very close to being halfway done. So with at least getting the words on the page. Anyway, if you want to join me on the journey, just like, subscribe, and share out this video. But just comment down below. Let me know what your interests are. On this channel, I will also talk about books I'm reading. I will also talk about my journaling process. So you've already seen a little bit of me getting set up for my journaling for the month of May as well. Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace. Hey guys, it's Saturday. We are at the library, our weekend ritual, and I am getting ready to start writing. And, you know, I think it was really a good idea to go ahead and add those sessions, because I do think that it made today just flow a lot better. And yeah, I just think it's good for me to write throughout the week, even if it's only like 2 more times a week. I do feel like it impacted my productivity today while I was at the library. And we usually get there when it opens, and we stay for like an hour and a half and get our words down on the page. Steve is doing several things. He's journaling, he's doing blog posts and that kind of thing, and I'm just focusing on the novel. And at the end, I did a word count, and I am now almost at 31,000 words, or yeah, I'm almost at 31,000 words, but I'm at 30,902 words, which is really, really good for a week of writing for me, as someone who, has a job, works outside the home and has other hobbies. I think I did pretty good this week. So thanks for joining me on this journey, and I'll see you guys in the next writing vlog. Peace.